Share the Backline presents Death Clause. Before we get started, we want to make it clear that this content is for entertainment purposes only. While we may discuss some controversial or unusual ideas, we want to emphasize that nothing in this video should be taken as factual or authoritative. We do not promote or endorse any conspiracy theories, and we encourage you to critically evaluate any claims made in this video. We are presenting this content purely for entertainment value, and we hope you'll enjoy it as such. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into another episode of Death Clause.
Share the Backline presents another episode of Death Clause, a podcast where two washed up local musicians wax poetic about conspiracy theories, ghost stories, and other paranormal oddities. I'm your host, O'Brien.
And John Beardley Arliss.
And in the chair is Caitlin.
Hi.
You guys wanted it, so here it is. Death Clause.
Did they want it?
Yeah, more Death Clause. Everybody wants more Death Clause. So here we are, another edition of Death Clause with our conspiracy goblets.
I don't know who asked for it, but that's none of my business. You spilled.
Oh fuck!
All right, so we talked about this one, the one we're gonna kick this episode off with, conspiracy theory. We talked about it on another episode, but Beardley shut me down because he doesn't want me to announce so we're doing Death Clause. And then we actually, you guys probably figured it out if you listened to the last episode. Go listen to the last episode.
We didn't do that last
Yeah.
episode, so go check it out so you can see that we didn't shout out the episode before.
But we'll do it on this one. But we did leave little crumbs, little clues to let people know we were going to do a Death Clause for the next one. So there you go, everybody. So we're going to do the conspiracy theory I was talking about before that was like a throwback. The first conspiracy theory that I was exposed to as far as like on the interwebs. I don't even know if I should say who I looked into this with, but yeah, it's kind of an homage to a friend of mine. So a lot of this has been, I don't want to say debunked or whatever, but it's been talked about a lot at length. And you even got annoyed by how much people talk about certain aspect of this conspiracy theory. But we're going to talk about the James Cameron conspiracy theory. That's my 90s trailer voice.
When he told me about this, and because I am a conspiracy theory buff, like I couldn't find anything on this. I found one document. No YouTube videos. There was a podcast that we listened to, but it was more of like I think they just used the name, but there's like nothing online, so better be good, dude.
It's not. But I wanted to do it. So let's start off at the top here, or at the beginning. Let's start off at the bottom. I was born in the woods. No, so the conspiracy theory goes that before James Cameron started making movies, there was a Dr. Ewan Cameron, who was a Canadian psychiatrist who started to experiment with mind control and emotional, like mental manipulation, which is pretty fascinating because you get into, we started talking about like Manchurian candidates and stuff like that, like people that can be like basically the Winter Soldier, where there's like code words and then it's like things that have been subconsciously planted into somebody's subconscious,
like in Zoolander.
In the subconscious. Wow, I just rhymed a word with a word.
Like Zoolander when he
Zoolander's a Manchurian candidate. Yeah.
It's meant to kill the prime minister of Malaysia.
Yeah. So just like that, Winter Soldier, Zoolander. It's the same freaking guy.
That's another conspiracy.
Santa, Satan. It's the same freaking guy. So The methods included like LSD, psychedelics. We've all heard these. Electroshock therapy, like a Clockwork Orange when they like peel their eyes back and then make them watch a bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah, like
over
sleep
and over.
deprivation and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then hearing a particular voice over and over. Another cool thing with audio that has nothing to do with it, but it's like these are the things that make me think of it. Was there is have you seen it? It came up a lot during like all the George Floyd protests and stuff, that they were using these like huge walls of speakers. I don't know what they're called. You might know. It's like audio stuff.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called, but it basically sounds like
ARM or something.
Yeah, it's like a frequency. It's a certain frequency that it's like a audio weapon, basically. It's like getting hit with a flashbang, for all you gamers and stuff, flashbangs are the most annoying thing in like Call of Duty or something. It's like getting hit with a flashbang, basically.
Yeah. I also heard that there's a frequency that can start to, and then they also call it the what is it, like Savannah syndrome? Mm-hmm. The people that were in the U.S. embassy in Cuba, they all had like the same symptoms and they didn't know why they were feeling a certain way, but they're like fatigued and dizzy and kind of like.
Turns out they were just really bored.
I thought I had mono. But Ken's gonna feel like she has meningitis. But
I'm a good actor.
There is one frequency they say like you start to see shit, like you start to see ghosts and stuff, and you think you're haunted. But it's a frequency that you can't hear or anything. So somebody can just like point this thing, and then you would think that you're being haunted and stuff.
It's like a human dog whistle.
Yeah. CIA has too much power. So anyway, all these psychiatric manipulations and mind control and all that stuff. He was doing that, and then he later started working for the CIA because they were interested in his mind control stuff. And this is the part that you find annoying.
Here we go, dude.
I told you, dude, this was like early 2000s.
So if you listen to a couple episodes back, when I cut off O'Brien from doing his Mandela effects, I'm bored of certain conspiracy theories, and MK Ultra is one of them. And this is where it's...
So he later found the CIA reached out to him for his work, and then he ended up heading MK Ultra. I told you there's a throwback. So you have this he's a truck driver at the time, James Cameron. So James Cameron conspiracy. Let's get into James Cameron. So it's in the 70s. He's just a truck driver. Yeah. Then he quits his job, and then he wants to make a movie called Xenogenesis, and it's kind of like Alien. It's the birth of an alien species, but he gets funded by a consortium of dentists, and they're all from Tustin. He's living in Brea. He went to Cal State Fullerton. And he gets the money from this consortium of dentists that they just all pull their money together. And turned out the dentists were psychiatrists, and they weren't a consortium because that's what they call themselves. But consortiums need to be like international business interests. So they're actually psychiatrists, and then they're connected. They're also connected to the CIA and MK Ultra. So the conspiracy theory goes that his movies are part of, they basically used him to like try these mind control tricks on masses of people. So who the fuck saw Xenogenesis?
Yeah.
But everyone saw Alien. Everyone our age, I guess.
I haven't.
But he later went on to All right. Can I park here for a minute?
Dude, I think if
Went out. What? I've been parked too long.
yeah, you're about to get a ticket, dude.
Literally, I just want to zoom into your face because you're just.
Because I've been talking to him about this for weeks now.
For months since the last death clause.
Titanic is the biggest piece of shit that I've ever seen. But it came out when I was in the 8th grade. So we had a 8th grade yearbook. And I remember looking at it. It was a while ago. Like the last time I saw it, maybe like 10 years ago or something. But every single person on there listed Titanic as their favorite movie. Almost like it was creepy to see because I was like flipping through. I was like, you know, I have like a list and like your little facts, fun facts or whatever, your little fucking bio. And everybody had on there Titanic. I had Grease. I put Grease on there because I thought it was funny. But so this conspiracy theory goes that it's the emotional aspects of the movie are perfect, but like to the level of manipulation. They have like scenes that make you happy, scenes that make you mad, scenes that make you excited, sad, but they're all like the timing of them and what happens, like the emotions you feel are so perfect. But so it makes sense. Like, why else would people love this garbage so much? It makes when I heard about the conspiracy theory and I like put two and two together and I rewatched Titanic. And it is such a piece of shit to sit through. And then you look at Avatar, and it's kind of the same thing. It's such a basic story. It's basically Dances with Wolves in space. Like it's the white savior story, blah blah blah. And it follows that same pattern, but there are the same, like, you feel pity for this guy, and then you feel angry about what's happening, and then you feel happy that they're, you know, it's all that timing. And the other thing is that it was the technology at the time. It was like the first 3D movie, right?
One of them. I mean, no.
I mean, not like blue and red glasses, 3D.
Yeah. His biggest excuse was like, oh, the technology isn't up to par for this movie yet, or some shit like that.
Yeah. But it was kind of the same thing with, like, if you watch it now, back then it was like the biggest thing, having the watching the Titanic sink and all that. I was like, oh my God, this looks so fucking cool. This looks so real. It doesn't. But it was like, at that time, that could be another thing that like manipulated people. They're like seeing something they've never seen before. And then that whole notion of like destruction porn, you know, where you like see these big explosions and everything. And
a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah. I mean, we can get into the Terminator. So it's all it turns out that they're all in the conspiracy theory that they're all Freemasons. So that's another one that's like, there's like the old school Illuminati when you talk about Freemasons and shit, right? It was like the ones that were controlling everything. Like, I'm doing it too. But so the people that he ended up getting funded by, the movie studio was called New World Pictures.
Yeah, no, his movie. He created a movie studio and it named it New World Pictures.
Yeah, so it was like a tie-in to the New World Order, which is what the Masons. That was like their was. I don't know if they're still.
Dude, I mean, that's a whole nother like conspiracy itself. Like, you know, everybody focuses on the Illuminati and stuff, but it could be the Freemasons, you know, putting this out there. Like, okay, everybody focus on the Illuminati. Like Taylor Swift, like jump into this bed at your show, and you know somebody will put a video out like all the symbolism, or what's that guy's name? Body Shop. What's his name?
Pull it up, Caitlin. Body Shop.
Mommy don't know that.
Oh yeah, like the like demonic.
like
Symbolism?
back to it. Yeah.
What's his name?
Let's see. Is it Little Nas X? Is that
No,
one?
that's
No?
No, that
that's
was
another
it.
one.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, that's another one too. You know, it's like the Little Nas X stuff, and
Let's see.
somebody in the comments would be like, probably my wife. It's this person. But yeah, I mean, it could be like, you know, the
Oh, Sam Smith.
Sam Smith.
Sam Smith.
Thank you. Too bad we can't play it.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
the symbolism for that, you know, I think it was the Grammys. We was dressed like the devil, and then, you know, again, Rihanna stuff, like at the Super Bowl and all this stuff. It could be like a ploy for, you know, creating the new world order. George Bush came out and said it in like the early 2000s. Like I'm pretty sure it was like offhandedly, like he didn't say like I'm creating a new world order. Like it was like an offhand comment or something. But
Yeah.
George Bush is a Freemason.
Yeah. He's a Freemason too. You know what's crazy? It's like it reminds me of the like Hell's Angels. They have like the one percenters, like the gang. But then there's also like the Hell's Angels. That's just like a regular motorcycle club. And that's kind of what the Freemasons are. They always say like the 33rd degree Mason. That was like that Taylor Swift video. She's 33 years old, so it's symbolic in Freemasonry of 33.
Because that's the highest level.
Yeah, and then that's when they show you the real shit or whatever.
It's like Wu-Tang too. Wu-Tang Clan has you know, like I told my wife, she's like, Redman was never part of Wu-Tang. I'm like, yeah, he is. He's just not like Wu-Tang Clan. He's not the Raekwon, the RZA, the Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, you know, all those guys. But he's part of Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang is worldwide.
He's not 33rd degree.
Yeah, he's not a 33 he's not a 33 degree fucking samurai.
Nice. You know what else is weird though? When I was a kid, when we practiced at this place, a storage place in Rosemead, and it was next
Where I
door.
met you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know all about it.
Yeah.
It was right next door to Masonic Lodge, and they had a really long driveway, and it was gated. But the storage place had a bunch of like cars that people store there too, so we were able to climb on the walls and jump it basically. And it was pretty late at night, and we hopped over the wall, and we went up to the Masonic Lodge, and all the windows were blacked out like an adult bookstore, like a strip club. They were all black. And then we looked on the front, and there was a plaque, and it had the pentagram with like the ramps of the goat's head or whatever.
Mm.
And then we, you know, in typical fucking teenage fashion, we all looked at each other like Scooby Doo. We all ran again, jumped back over the wall, but we all saw it. But it was before, like, nobody had fucking a cell phone, or, you know, let alone a cell phone with the camera on it. Mm-hmm. But I remember seeing that, and we were like, oh shit, these are like the Masons. These are the Masonist Masons around. But you're right, dude. It might be just like, okay, focus on the Illuminati. They just completely made up the Illuminati.
Yeah, that happens in media all the time too. It's like, what is it like? Oh, people like food farms are blowing up for no reason, but hey, you know, Donald Trump's getting arrested or something, or. You know, well, no, it was recently like China and Russia made a deal or something, but Donald Trump's getting arrested tomorrow. Nope, it's the next day. Nope.
Yeah,
It's I don't know, sneaky stuff.
Fake news.
Classic misdirection.
Yeah, fake news.
But it's the whole New World Order thing is basically just like one government, but it goes into also like preparing people for the future, like being able to prepare masses, like the way we talked about this before, like the way war movies and stuff like come out before some kind of conflict So people are kind of already mentally prepared for it. And then when something happens, then it's easy to get everybody kind of united, because they've all seen different shit, like even just running trailers for stuff, that's why like when like Top Gun came out, we're like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
That's something.
Well, because they kept delaying that movie. Well, I mean, we had a pandemic. That's another thing too. We talk about like the pandemic and stuff. That movie that was on Netflix, everybody was streaming.
Yeah, the one that was basically talked about the next pandemic, and then it happens right after. What was that, like documentary or whatever?
Yeah.
And then
Parasite won like best movie or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy stuff. I'm just gonna take a sip of my conspiracy goblet, dude.
Take a
It's
sip
like The
of.
Simpsons, though, that they predict things and
Yeah,
everyone freaks out over it.
dude, the last one was pretty cool because it was the Malibu Stacy episode. He's like talking about Kent Brockman's talking about the Malibu Stacy, which was the Simpsons version of Barbie. And he goes, "Oh, and in other news, the president was arrested." More on that tomorrow night. Like,
Yeah, because
ooh.
Barbie's all over the internet with the memes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking scary, man.
This segment we like to call "It's fucking scary, man." But so the New World Order is basically just one government, and that's the alleged goal of the Freemasons. So there's a lot of subliminal messaging, and they even said there was something about Ronald Reagan mentioning like an outside force, basically aliens.
Nice.
But that like the movie Alien, and aliens like preparing us for something that comes from outside Earth, and it would unite the masses against this one thing. And that COVID relief bill also had a little rider in there where the Pentagon declassified a lot of that alien shit. Tom DeLonge was right, everybody. He called it.
Fuck Tom DeLonge, dude.
Yeah, fuck you, Tom DeLonge.
I'm just kidding. I love you.
But what's really fucking with me now? The emergence of AI. Because on this too, it talks about the Terminator 1 and 2, also James Cameron properties, being subliminally preparing us for
an AI takeover.
this fucking technology.
Yeah, I mean it's dude. So just real quick, like last episode or last Death Clause, we just did one. This one we're gonna kind of split it up where he's bringing his, I'm bringing mine, but mine kind of ties into technology too. And I just want to say, like, how they say like the military's like 10 years ahead of us, like technologically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's just the military, but I'll get into that one. I just wanted to say that, like, I should have said it in the beginning, like we're having two different conspiracy theories. This one's like, started by you, and then don't worry.
I didn't start this. It wasn't started by me. This episode was started by me.
That's what I meant. This episode started by O'Brien.
You put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Go ahead.
But don't worry, it's not about Giants. Not this episode, at least.
God.
So continue.
Again with the Giants. Always. With
It's
the
not
Giants.
about Giants.
So even since I brought this up to you, it's like AI started.
Pause. Sorry, I forgot to mention this the last episode. It's very important. My wife did something hilarious, and it was from the pod. Like, we were talking about something, and then she just said, "Shut that baby up." And I thought it was most hilarious thing. Sorry. Continue.
She's referencing the pod.
Yeah, she did. She referenced the pod.
Nice. So yeah, I tried Chat GBT It's GBT, right? GPT?
GPT. Yeah.
K-Mo.
I think it's GPT.
I tried it for the first time just not 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I've been talking to you about this for a couple months now. But dude, it seems more and more plausible. Like the chat GPT almost seems more intelligent than Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator.
Yeah.
I'll be back. Like 3 words. They can say way more than that now.
It's GPT.
GPT, like CPT. The
PCP?
LSD. If you look at the Terminator, we've already like the intelligence of that robot, that killing machine. We've already surpassed that. And look at the way the robot is built. It's like a fucking 87 Datsun. I mean, except for the skin part of it and them being able to make themselves. The only thing is, like, there aren't that many. We don't have that many resources. I mean, those fucking robots would have to go. It'd be the recycler. I am the recycler. Go fucking collect all the foil and go around and collect cans and shit. No, I gotta build a friend in order for it to actually have enough metal to make that many robots. I mean, we can reproduce like fucking, like humans, a lot faster than robots can recycle metal and keep producing themselves, unless aliens bring materials from outside.
Just blew my brains out, dude.
But and then they describe the robots as a new order of intelligence. So there's that callback to a new world order again. But I don't want to beat a dead horse, but the fucking AI shit's fucking nuts.
I mean,
it was dumb. I called it out and it was making shit up. Like none of the things I was saying was accurate. But this is just like the first version of it.
It's the third.
This is just the third version of it. You cut the first part out. So if you look at what AI is capable of doing now, it doesn't even have to be an army of robots coming for us. Robots. It could just be like a deep fake or something like that fucking makes people lose your shit and fight each other or whatever. You know what I mean? It could be that killing machine could be anything. It could be a fucking video on Instagram that just like freaks people out. They can make like influencers can be completely fucking AI and we wouldn't even know. Like somebody could get so insanely popular using shit like emotional manipulation, like James Cameron, and the ability to create a person and a personality and even the visuals and everything to create somebody so charismatic that people would follow them, and then they could even like run for office or whatever, and it could be completely fucking fake, and we can just like follow this person off a cliff and they would not even be real. It's just somebody made a program and let it fucking run. Literally and figuratively. And like they can create this persona until they're able to create the body for it.
I mean, but people have been doing that for thousands of years. Religion. I mean,
creating an avatar.
Have you heard of the chronovisor?
Mm-mm.
Dude, okay. There's this show called Devs, right? It's on, I think it's on Hulu, FX Plus or FSX, whatever. It has.
That's on the Dev Hour, right?
Huh?
That's on the Dev Hour?
The Dev Hour.
Devour these nuts. Sorry, I had to do it.
Boo. Ooh.
Yeah,
You can cut that out.
probably am. That was terrible.
It's a shout out to a friend of mine.
Uh,
Boo.
No, but devs. So I don't want to. I won't completely spoil it, but it's basically like this guy in Silicon Valley who loses his family in a car accident. So he spends, or he has. Think of like a Facebook or Google, like the parent company, whatever. He's the CEO of that, but he has a secret project going on where they're building a supercomputer to see in the past. So it's not like a time machine, but it allows you to look into the past. So
Oh yeah, I have heard of this.
so I mean that's part of the show, but like I've been looking into it for real, and they're saying it's in the Vatican. And that high priest or whatever, popes, what they've seen like the crucifixion of Jesus, and they've seen just like any otherworldly events, JFK assassination, what really happened. So like the show's based off of that, which I just thought was fucking crazy, and I hope it's true because that's amazing. But like that's why I was saying, like, religion, that, like it or not, like this term or not, it's like manipulation. It's like you're doing bad, you're gonna go to a bad place. Follow us, and then like what I've been reading and stuff, and it's like crazy. It's like I think it's Jehovah's Witness, no, Mormons.
Yeah.
They have to give 10% of their salary to the church, or they're bad. They're not good Mormons, which is, again, that manipulation, and maybe not hundreds of thousands, or not hundreds, but thousands of years ago, people weren't giving money, like, or, gold or whatever to the church, but still, like, they're following their rules and their manipulation to be that better person or whatever. It's like, if you don't do this, you're bad. Like,
Yeah, and it sucks because they're people, and then they are saying that they're messengers of whatever God that it may be in that denomination, and people are fallible, and you give anybody that kind of power where they lead a congregation or whatever you want to call that group of people, and it can absolute power corrupts absolutely, right?
yeah. So, yeah, fucking scary, man. No, I'll let you finish yours before I start digging into mine. But I mean, it's like everything connects. Maybe, like I said before, it is the start of a new world order. One rule government, one rule, fucking religion, whatever, they can make it whatever they want.
Yeah.
It's basically like they're creating our algorithm. They're putting what maybe not necessarily what we want to see, but what we need to see to be controlled. That's why like these blockbuster movies do so well, because it's what we need to see, because it ties into
At the right time.
Yeah, it's what we need to see at that time. So
Yeah. So it is. What is it? Like, is it life imitating art or art imitating life? We may never know. But it is like, it fucking freaks me out, because if we're at this point in technology and all of this shit, even the movies that we saw about the future, or like, some of them, like, obviously, like, we weren't fucking the Jetsons, flying around and shit, or we didn't have hoverboards. like official hoverboards, like in Back to the Future too. But a lot of the other stuff is like we've surpassed it so quickly, and with meta and everything, and you hear the conspiracy theory about the everything being a simulation. It's like it seems more and more possible. Like at some point we'll be able to put people in a pod and then just put the fucking VR on them and they would live their entire lives in a pod. So if that's possible, like how do we know that's not happening to us?
What if we're living our actual lives like the people in Wall-E, dude?
Yeah. That did seem kind of sweet. They had like unlimited snacks forever.
Folded chairs.
Yeah. Let's just skip to that part. Not worrying about anything. Not worrying about the human experience.
But again, you think about it, it's somebody wanting to take control over everybody. What was the name of the? It's like
that company, right?
Yeah, big.
Oh yeah, by and large.
By and large, yeah. Like they wanted the Walmart.
Yeah.
Not everybody goes to Target, but everybody knows Walmart. They're just.
Did James Cameron have anything to do with that movie? But it was like a new world order because it was one government because everybody was on that one ship and had one captain.
Yep. And it was all by and large his plan. Maybe, not polluting the entire earth, but taking over everybody. That was originally the plan, like.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was kind of like they created the mess and then they were in charge of. They got the contract to be the ones that cleaned it up. You know what I mean? It's almost like Halliburton, like fucking Dick Cheney made up a war and they went and fucking blew everything up. And then his company's the one that got the contract to go fix everything. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, how fucking convenient. It's like all those Marvel movies. If you think about them, they're all fucking just cleaning up their own messes. Like Tony Stark fucked everything up, but he's a hero because he goes and he cleans up his mess.
Yeah.
Only after everything was destroyed.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the last owner for the Dodgers, Frank McCourt, he owned the Dodgers. He owned Dodger Stadium. But he his contracting company was the one that did all the work at the stadium. Mm. And then I forgot how it goes, but he subleased the parking lot to the Dodgers, so he's making money two ways. And
oh my god,
just stupid stuff, dude. Just making money any way you can. You know? And I don't know, he got scummy about it.
You got scummy about it?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, though. It's like with American capitalism, everything is about loopholes and stuff. Like it might not even be illegal. Sure, there's laws against monopolies and stuff, but there are so many ways around it. And if you find legal loopholes and what you're doing isn't illegal per se, but it looks bad. But still, nothing's going to happen because it's not illegal. And then it takes fucking years for a law to be passed and then lobbyists keeping the laws from ever becoming enforced. And then by that time, that person's already dead and somebody's already inherited the trillions of dollars that they made off of those fucking loopholes. USA. USA. I hope I find a loophole.
Have you guys ever watched Artificial Intelligence?
Is that the one with there's two of those movies that I always get confused. There's one with Robin Williams and then there's one with Haley Joel Osment.
I think it's the one with Robin Williams and he's the blue fairy or whatever. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Let's look it up.
Dude,
look it up, Kamo.
What is it? Another sign of Freemasonry is the blue light.
Yeah, is it in the Terminator?
It's in the Terminator, and then avatars are all blue. I'm just reaching here, buddy.
And then the light that comes from that tree, right? Isn't it blue?
Is it blue or is it pink? I don't remember. I haven't
I'm
seen
gonna say
this.
it was blue,
Oh, yeah,
just
this
because
one.
it fits the narrative.
Yeah, with Haley
Yeah.
Joel Osment.
So this one is like the end of kind of like Wall-E in a sense. Like they messed up the Earth so bad, so now they're replacing humans that are trashing it with like artificial intelligence, like the mecha people. There's mecha and there's Orga, and this one's crazy. They just get rid of humans who waste, litter, whatever, to redo the planet.
Nice. I'm in.
This movie traumatized me as a child. I watched it at 5 years old. My grandma thought it was a kid's movie.
Because of Haley Joel Osment.
I guess.
Yeah, he's a baby in
Yes.
this movie.
He has a teddy bear with him. Yep.
Dude, they leave him in like a field.
Yeah,
He just goes by.
in this movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then doesn't he finds them, right? And then isn't his eye all fucked up in one of them? Remember, he like comes back
he-
and his eyes like drooping.
Well, he does it when he's living with the family. They get him to eat, and his whole face just like melts off. Like his eyeballs like sag down
Oh
and
my
stuff.
god, this is
gotta watch-
unlocking core memories.
I gotta watch that movie.
That's
I've
what's
seen
up.
clips of it. I've never seen like the actual movie because I got into an AI freaking conspiracy theory loop rabbit hole. So like they mentioned it a bunch.
That's the hot conspiracy theory right now, everybody.
Yeah, I think so. That's probably one. According to my peer,
According to my algorithm, I should be talking about AI. God damn it.
I got to check that. Is it streaming anywhere? You can watch it on YouTube.
Paramount.
Nice.
He must have shot this in conjunction or like back to back with The Sixth Sense because he's identical in each movie, right? Or was he a little younger in The Sixth Sense?
I think he's a little younger. Yeah.
God, yeah, that movie was creepy.
So
Another thing too, you can have like an entire like social media based like relationship with artificial intelligence. It's like her, like Joaquin Phoenix. Where it's like you can see a person and talk to them. And they could be it's like fucking a whole new level of catfishing. Like let's meet up. Like sure, let's meet up.
dude, I forgot what it was, but I was watching something. I don't think it was on YouTube. It was probably like some like docu-series on HBO or something, where this guy had a full-blown relationship with his Nintendo DS. Like he had a game on there where it was his girlfriend, and he would talk to his girlfriend. He's like, she was like, "Oh, where are you taking me out to dinner tonight?" And this and that, and like he would take her out to dinner, and just like talk to her while he slept, and then like his mom would come and bring him groceries and stuff. I want to say it was like in Japan or China, So, she would ask him like, "Oh, how's Stacy, whatever her name is. I don't remember, but like, like she played into it too. Like that was his girlfriend, and it was crazy, man.
Oh, she played into it? I thought like she didn't know that it was a fucking video game.
Well, I don't know. He might have said like, I have a girlfriend. Her name's Stacy. It's like, oh, how's Stacy do? But it was like his little Nintendo DS, dude. Just taking on bus rides and stuff and train rides and.
If he did all that for a fucking Nintendo DS in the 90s, imagine like AI now is like, this is child's play. Like, you get his fucking social security card in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Credit cards. You got it. Damn. But there have always been people with weird relationships. Like there was like that woman in the UK was like married to a lamp or some shit or a chandelier or something. People like having relationships with their cars.
Yeah.
There's a lady I came across on TikTok who's married to like a Halloween doll. And she has a family with them. There's like 4 or 5 of them.
Or like Lars and the Real Girl. Did you ever watch that? He had like a traumatic thing going on though, and then once it like resolved itself, then he like snapped out of it. But it was spoiler alert because I haven't seen Lars and the Real Girl.
That's with
With Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Ken? from Barbie.
Full circle.
Yep.
So I think that's all I got for this one. We can put this to bed.
You happy?
Yeah.
It's out there.
I'll show this to my friend one day. If he ever comes this is what we when I brought up this conspiracy theory is because I wanted it to kind of pay an homage to a friend of mine who kind of got me into conspiracy theories. But we talked about how conspiracy theories are supposed to be like tickle that part of your brain and just supposed to be fun and like, oh shit, that's scary, and then you forget about it and it's just like fun. It's like going on a scary ride or through a haunted maze or some shit. There aren't really ghosts there or anything. But some people took it a little too far, and he was one of them. So hopefully he finds his way back, and I can show him this episode. We can have a good laugh. So what do you got? Speaking of doubles.
So mine is not an homage. I'm just fucking fascinated by conspiracy theories and crazy. So this was not a conspiracy theory per se. It's more of like
It's the paranormal part.
it's the paranormal part. I've been watching. Hold on. There's already a disclaimer at the beginning of this episode, but disclaimer: if you are a follower of, or if you're a person of faith, I am not like shitting on any faith or anything. Or if you believe in demonic spirits,
Put on your foil.
yeah, maybe like as I see on TikTok all the time, like I don't condone this or something like that. It's like I don't.
It's a trigger warning.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. Trigger warning.
trigger warning.
Trigger warning for you Jesus freaks. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't want to say all that, but yeah. So I've been watching a lot of interviews with like exorcists from the church, from the Vatican, from just everywhere, and they all have the same message. It's like if you invite the demons in, they're gonna come in, and I'm like, that's fucking metal as fuck. No, it's just it's crazy. Like some of the stories I forgot the name of. I sent it to you, so let me get the guy's name. But I think he's like one of the
Getting ready with the Googler.
Yep.
I sent it to you this morning. I want to say he's like Philadelphia or Memphis is like official exorcist. His name is Reverend Daniel Rehil.
Reehil.
Yeah.
Wait. Spell his last name?
Reehil.
So I found this interview, like, again, just because I was interested in like the stories he tells about meeting. He says he's met the devil twice, and they say when you meet the devil, like in your dreams, like, I mean, it's not really a dream. He's visiting you. He is the most handsome guy you've ever seen. A lot of times when you see him in your dreams, he's naked. So yeah, write that down.
Dream of naked devil.
Handsome.
Very handsome.
Hot feet pics.
No, but this reverend, he talks about like meeting him twice, and the first time he met him, he was a banker before he was a priest, and he was trying to find his way back into the church, and maybe go on that spiritual journey, faith and everything, and find Jesus.
Sure.
So he was talking to another priest, and he's like, look, you're coming in to pray every day, and you're going to work. Like, that's great. You're doing both. He's like, I don't, and this guy Daniel almost had a burp come up, but didn't. He comes back and he's like, I can't do this, because he was like a sales guy. So he was going out to fancy dinners, and he was taking clients out to for drinks and stuff, so wine and dine them. So he tells the priest, he's like, I can't do this. Like, I keep up with praying and keep up my job and all the alcohol and stuff. And so the priest says, look, why don't you make a plan where you're going to eat, go in the early afternoon, tell him, like, look, I'm going to be here later. I'm going to order like a club soda and vodka or something. Just have it club soda. So you can keep that image up, but you're not drinking. He's like, okay. So he does it for like a week, and he's like, it's getting easier. He's like, okay, do it for a month. Do it for a month, and I guarantee you things are going to change. So he's like, all right, I'll do it for a month. He's telling this priest, I'll do it for a month. And then he leaves, and he's like walking towards his office, and it's in the middle of New York too. He said the most handsome guy he's ever seen in a tailored suit, just staring at him. And he's like, they talk about like how in New York you don't stare at people because you'll probably get shot now. Mm-hmm. But back then you'd get like, what are you looking at? I'm walking here,
I'm walking here.
So he found it weird for him to just like have this guy staring at him. And then, so he keeps walking, and then he hears like footsteps behind him, and the guy grabs his arm and like he's leading him, and leans in. He said, let's go have a drink.
Oh shit.
And so like the guy Daniel, the priest Daniel, he walks away, and he's like, walks to his house, and he goes back to the church, and he's like, I just this thing happened to me. Like, do you think it was who I think it is? And the other priest is like, well, yeah, you have a target on your back now. So like that was the one story he said he met the devil, but so just like talking about like the demonic possessions and stuff, it's not always the devil. It's like he has foot soldiers working for him, It's wild, dude. It's like the other time he had other people with him when he said he met the devil. Mm-hmm. It was the same guy. He went to like this fancy drinking place in Miami with old co-workers. He was already a priest by that time, so it's like out of place. But he said they were sitting at a round table like this. There was 4 of them, and it was him and then 3 women with him. And all the women were like looking at this table behind him. They're like, oh my God, look at how handsome that guy is. And like the guy, they're like, oh, he's coming over here. And the guy like is walking over here, and he puts his hand on the priest's shoulder. He's like, I thought you were becoming a priest. And he said, this is my territory. You're not supposed to be here.
Oh, shit.
And it was the same guy. When he looked up that he saw in New York, but this time he was, it's like on the beach, he was wearing like trunks and no shirt on, almost naked, So he's like, so I met him twice, and it's not fun, It's
Was he still hot with the shirt off?
I mean,
Take notes.
Shirt off. Miami Beach. I'm trying to curate my dream here. No, it's cool. My family has this story that they tell, and there's where all my mom's side of the family, they were born in like this fucking ranch, like in rural Mexico, and it's just like this long ass road that you have to take to get there, and there's a mound there, and there's a tunnel in that dirt mound, and there was one president, I forget his name, I forget the story, but he was like they were persecuting any Christians, any religions basically, and they dug this thing and they dug the tunnel under the mound.
Hold on, before you finish, did it light on fire?
Yes. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, fuck you, dude! I was gonna say my grandpa told me the same fucking story.
No. But like when we would go visit the ranch, we would drive past that mountain. They would tell us the story. One day it was like, it was raining and everybody was like piled into the truck, all my mom's siblings and stuff. And they were driving down in the middle of the night. They were driving to the ranch and outside of this mountain. So they put, that's where all the people that were being persecuted, all the religious folk, they hid all their prized possessions in there. And people have tried to go in there to, fucking treasure hunt. And no one's made it out. But they were driving past this fucking middle of nowhere, and they saw fucking the Dapper Dan, man. the dapper guy. So he had like the cane and everything, and I think like a suitcase or something for like a really nice suit and the hat. And they drove by, and he just like stared at them. And he was like right outside of that mound. There was nowhere he could have come from. And they call it in Spanish El Catrín. It's like, I mean, if you play the loteria, right?
Yeah.
It's like the guy in the suit. That's the devil.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's like looking into this stuff, dude. It's opened my eyes a little bit. Like, I understand this is not an actual conspiracy theory, and I apologize. Like, I'm supposed to be the conspiracy, but I got some like tucked away. Don't worry. Next DC it'll come back with a bang. It's just something that I'm, interested in right now. It's because we'd like to talk about crazy stuff on Death Claws, I guess.
Yeah, that video you put on for me was the interview with Father Vincent Lampert, and that one's fucking nuts. And he was talking about, it was funny because the woman interviewing him was like, it's I know it's not like the movies and this and that, and he's like, no, he kind of laughed it off, and then he described basically The Exorcist, like the letters, the words appearing on it. She's like, how do you know they weren't there, whatever. He's like, because I witnessed them appear on the skin. And he said he never saw anybody like spin their head completely around, but he saw somebody's jaw completely come off, like drop, and then move off to the side like that. And people levitating. And another one was like somebody fell down face first and then started slithering like a snake across the floor. And this guy, after I listened to that one, there were other interviews. I think Vice did something on him too.
Yeah.
And all of them, the stories didn't change. Sometimes like they ask him questions and stuff, and you could tell they're kind of full of shit because their stories change a little bit. Mm-hmm. And his stories never changed. And it said that too, like how you invite him in, like you when you show up and I tell you the door's unlocked, but you need to be invited in like a vampire in the Lost Boys. But it said also like items can be demonic too, like things that just because why they're forged, like statues and things. Mm-hmm. People doing things that welcome those types of spirits, like occult or witchcraft, or using objects like Ouija boards and stuff to conjure the spirits. And it's just, it opens these portals.
Yeah. And I, as a kid, I went to church. I made, my first communion and everything. Got married in church. And I'm not saying I'm not a believer, but at the same time, like I'm at the point in my life where I need proof. I need like evidence. Like I'm not, if the devil's real, like I'm not inviting him in, it's like stay the fuck away from me, homeboy. But
Norm Macdonald, that's a kind of joke that'll get you sent to hell, sucking the devil's dick for all eternity.
But like, the same thing they say is like, both of these, Father Michael, Father Daniel, whatever, not whatever, but they say like, pray for a sign, base something. I forgot what it was. I was driving up here and I was like, holy shit, like that's insane. Holy shit.
But
But another thing too is the other guy, Father Daniel, that I was talking about. He's like, I can feel something like happening. So like I feel like something bad is gonna happen. It could be another war. It could be the second coming of Christ. It could be just aliens. I guess I don't know. Like, but when he said that, like, it didn't give me chills, but I was like, oh, that's it's a little weird.
that priest said he feels something bad coming.
Yeah,
Maybe he stubbed his toe a couple of days later.
well, he said too. He's like, like before this last Lent, because Easter was last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he told people like, live this Lent like it's your last one.
Lent.
Yeah. The 40 days and 40 nights. I don't know. It's like, there's so much to dig into, like when it comes to religion and, the occult, as they call it, and stuff. And it does get a little scary, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like, especially when I do all my research and stuff, because it's late at night, because the kids go to bed and stuff, and
You pop out the Ouija board.
Well, no, especially growing up, like you grew up in that, and if you
Yeah.
go to like Revelation stuff that's happening now, it's there.
exactly.
Like what we're talking about, the one world government. It's wild.
I was a baptized Catholic, so I was raised Catholic. But like all good Catholics, I start questioning the church.
Yeah.
But there's always like shit like that like takes me back, like watching Constantine, or The Exorcist. I'm like, oh, that's fucking badass. The Boondock Saints, like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, get those guys, kill those demons. But yeah, there's always something that kind of, it's always there. It's like I'm the girl in Dogma, like an angel's gonna appear, or the devil, a sexy devil. So no shirt, nice suit.
Yeah, it's just fucking crazy, dude. I did a movie called Necronomicon when I was in high school. It was like the Book of the Dead, devil and stuff. That's the first time I didn't read it, but like my same buddy Frank, shout out Frank.
This one.
Yeah. Like he was really into the same thing. Like, he's not like following the Church of Satan or something, or joining a cult, but like, he had, what's his name? Anton LaVey, right?
Who?
The Satanist, Anton LaVey.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's his name.
Let's see.
He
can
wrote a
both
bunch
be
of books and
Googled.
stuff. He had a couple. It's just like, just crazy stuff. Like I never dug that much into it. Like I just know the names and stuff, like Aleister Crowley too. How supposedly he opened up a portal to hell.
Yeah, so metal. Mr. Crowley.
It's like Antoine, I think, or something like that.
Let's see. How do you spell his last name? Do you know?
LaVey? I don't
I don't know the first one.
I'll find it, but yeah, I'm
Try Antoine LaVey Satan.
now your mom's iMac's gonna get possessed.
Oh, right here. Founder of the Church of Satan.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, he wrote the book?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I know that face. That's Gigi Allen.
That's Gigi Allen. Oh yeah. Apparently, he's written quite a few books. He wrote the Satanic Bible, the Satanic Rituals, the Satanic Witch, the Devil's Notebook, Satan Speaks, Letters from the Devil. I don't know, man. It's just oh, dude, he died in 1997. I thought this was like years ago. Holy shit.
No, yeah, I remember that was. He came up around like peak satanic panic back then. Did he write any young adult?
Wattpad stories.
I don't know, man. I understand this wasn't quite the conspiracy theory, but it's just, I think Death Clause is meant to make you think sometimes too. It's only our second episode, so we really don't even know what it's about.
No, I mean, I say it at the top of the show. It was also conspiracy theories, ghost stories, and paranormal oddities. But if you're a believer, it's not paranormal. It's just normal. A believer.
A believer. Team Selena.
You got it.
Dude, I almost bought a poster yesterday. It's the X-Files poster, though. I want to believe.
I want to believe.
Yeah.
Team Selena.
Yep, Team Selena.
That'll be the most random poll we get out of a Death Clause.
Are you Team Selena or Team Justin?
Oh, what's that?
Haley Bieber. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Haley.
Haley.
Team Haley or Team Selena? That'll be the post for this. That'll be the poll for this episode.
I'm going to keep my options open. How long have we been going?
To what?
The podcast.
Oh, I was like, to what? An hour and 18 minutes, but we spent like,
Oh, shit.
I would say like 20 minutes of that waiting for this one. 15 minutes waiting for this one.
I made notes.
You did make notes. I made one note and you didn't read it, and you mentioned the tinfoil. There's a part.
I was reading it upside down. That's why it took me so long.
There's a part where like I'm talking during and I'm like this, and I'm like tapping my pen. I'm like waiting for you to look down. I'm like, at one point my notebook is like touching your phone and shit. But
I was buzzing, dude.
yeah, you were buzzing.
I was on a roll. I was freaking myself out. fucking Skynet.
Anyways, let's wrap this one up, dude. I'm kind of scared right now.
No, but you guys should definitely go check out that interview with Father Vincent Lampert. Should we link it or something?
Yeah, we'll link it.
That one you showed me, I couldn't find it today. Maybe it didn't even exist to begin with. But yeah, it was really good. It really got me thinking. I was like, I better go to confession.
Yeah. Maybe it was put there so we can go to confession and start going to church and then be a part of the system.
No.
Of the one world government.
Maybe it was, but that's none of my business.
Yeah, nothing to sit.
I know. one solitary drop.
These are our new conspiracy goblets. I picked them up at the Dollar Tree today. So
Yeah, so if you guys want to pick one up, but use our promo code Backline20 for 20% off your conspiracy goblets at the Dollar Tree. You get them for 80 cents.
it's $1.25, dude.
Oh, my bad. So you can sip out of it while you listen to Death Clause. Do I look like Leo?
Yep, there you go.
Main camera.
There you go, main one.